Hello everyone, and in this video tutorial we're going to discuss the page layout of the Gemara so that you know all of the tools available to you. This is the first page in Shas. It's on the left side of the binding. So you'd have it, if it was open in front of you, this would be on the left side, and then over here would be on the right side. Okay, the numbering system, we'll start with that. Numbering system is up here in this corner here. Here's your page numbers. Page numbers go following the Hebrew alphabet, starting with Beis. Beis is 2, Gimel 3, Daled 4, etc. It starts from 2. The Talmud Bavli starts from 2 to show we're always continuing. The Talmud Yerushalmi starts from Aleph. I'm not particularly sure why, except maybe that's just a good number to start from. So Talmud Bavli, Babylonian Talmud, starts from Beis 2. Jerusalem Talmud starts from Aleph 1. Okay, now you'll notice here this little dot next to it here. The dot tells you which side of the page you're on. Instead of having the first page, literally page, the whole page, both sides of it are both page Beis or daf Beis. The dot tells you if it's the front or the back. So the dot tells you Amud Aleph is the first side and Amud Beis is the second side. So since we're on the first side of the page, it's one dot and it's Beis Amud Aleph. Okay, and that's the first side, and then the second side would be Beis Amud Beis, and looks like this. See? Beis Amud Beis, that's the second side. Go back. Okay? Now we have here the header here on top of every page. Okay, this is the standard fancy-ish Shas. Oz V'Hadar is not Oz V'Hadar, but this is an older one that's out of print actually, but it's of the newer generation. So most newer Gemaras are all going to be formatted somewhat similar to this. There are tricks to the older ones, but I don't have my hands on a copy of them that's scanned digitally right now, so I can't show that layout to you, but for the most part these are the Gemaras you're going to see this layout as I'm going to explain. Okay, so the header here, Me'e Masai, there's 3 parts here. 1, 2, this is 2 and 3. The first part is the name of the chapter. In this case it's Me'e Masai. The chapter name usually comes from the first word or words of the first Mishnah of that chapter. So since we start with the chapter Me'e Masai Koren Es Shema, that's the first words of Shas, the first Mishnah here. So we take the first word or words, in this case just one word, and it's Me'e Masai. So that's the name of our perek, our chapter. Then we have the number of which chapter number is it. So here it's Perek Rishon, it's the first chapter. Perek is chapter, Rishon is first. And then the last part, the third part, is the name of the tractate itself. So this is Brachot. This is Tractate Brachot. So it's the first, it's the chapter name called Me'e Masai. It's the first chapter of the Tractate Brachot. That's how you read the header. Okay. So in the middle of the page, as you might have guessed, is the Gemara. And the Gemara is made up of Mishnahs, followed by Gemaras that analyze and discuss the Mishnah. So that's the layout in the middle here. Then you have, remember, this is the left side. The right side is would be over here, word a book. The commentary on the side here, who's always on the inside, is Rashi. Very important to know, Rashi's always on the inside. So if we turn the page, Rashi's going to be on this side, which would be near the binding. Okay, the binding is here on the way we're looking at it. So Rashi's on the inside, and Tosfos is the one on the outside. Okay, that's for almost all Masechtas. There are a couple of exceptions, like Nadarim, where you have the Ran here and you have the Mefarish here. But for the most part, Rashi's here, Tosfos is here. That's the layout, and it's good to know. So you have Rashi, you have Tosfos. Then you have a nice commentary that's new in these newer editions. New being, I guess, in the last 20 years maybe. You have the Torah or Hashalim. The Torah or Hashalim brings, whenever pasuk is quoted in the Mishnah or in the Gemara segment, or even the Vilna Chadasha printing gives you Rashi and Tosfos also. It gives you the whole pasuk on the side plus where to look up for it. Older Gemaras just tell you where to look it up. Sometimes they only give you the parak to look it up in, they don't even give you where. So here they give you the exact details, plus they quote the whole pasuk with nikudot, with punctuation and everything. It's very nice, very, very nice vowelization. So that's on the side Torah or Shalim, and we're going to get into this in a lot of depth when we discuss source endings involving psukim, verses in Tanakh. Okay, so that's the Torah or Hashalim. Then we have, on this side, we have the Goyas HaBach here. The Bach makes emendations or corrections to the Gemara. The corrections are typographical errors that occurred over the 1,000 or so years that it's been in printing, over 1,000 years that the Gemara has been in printing, and before printing it was in writing. Well, it's been copied over and over and over for many, 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 many years. And when you're hand copying things, even when you're typing things or printing things, little errors crop in. So the Bach tries to correct these errors, and he's very authoritative in his error correction. So when the Bach makes a correction, it's generally that's how it is. Okay, that's the Bach. Then we have the Musaf Rashi down here, relatively new. He brings what Rashi says on similar things here when he says, when these similar things in the Gemara come up elsewhere in Shas, Rashi, they bring Rashi's comment over there, so you don't have to look up. The three places that X discussion comes up, Rashi says different things for each of them. So they bring all the Rashis here, in addition to the ones you have here on the page, so that you can see what Rashi says elsewhere on a similar topic without having to go find the Rashis and to go look them up. So it's very helpful for seeing how Rashi explains different things. Also, when Tosfos is arguing with Rashi, sometimes those Rashis will be brought here in the Musaf Rashi because it's on the same topic, and then you can see what Rashi says in regard to Tosfos instead of having to go look that up in discussion. But we'll also get into that at a later date. So you have Rashi, Tosfos, the Torah or Hashalim, and the Goyas HaBach, and the Musaf Rashi. Then we have two very important reference Mefarshim. We have the Masoras HaShas, who references everything to everything in Shas, I guess, and even in Sifri, Sifra, and other Midrashim, Medrash Halachas, and Tosefta, and like that. So he'll tell you when this Gemara comes up somewhere else. He'll show you where. He'll show you where Brises are from, which Masechtas they're from. You can always go and look up things. Many times he'll say Ayin Sham, or just an abbreviated Ayin Shin, which means when this source that's being brought, let's say in the Gemara here, you should go look that up in depth and study it in the original source, because the Gemara is not giving you a big enough picture here, or you're not going to understand. There's too much stuff going on. You should really look that up in the original. So he'll say Ayin Sham. Just an interesting thing to note. Masoras HaShas, reference from Shas to everywhere else in Shas, and Tosefta and Medrash Halacha, basically anything involved in the Gemara. On the other side of the page, we have the Ayin Mishpat Ner Mitzvah, which is a reference from the Gemara to Halacha. So it tells you how to go from, it sends you from the Gemara here to the Rambam, to the Tor Shulchan Aruch, and to the Smag, or the Bahag, I guess. And so you can go look it up, what they have to say about it, and then from there you can go to Shulchan Aruch and Mishnah Berurah, even if it's a Masechta that is discussing things that would be in that section that Mishnah Berurah is written on. Okay, so this will send you from your Gemara to look it up in the Halacha, and in the Halacha Sfarim there's a commentary called the Ber HaGola, which will send you from there to the Gemaras. So that's very good to know. And then just the last one to mention is we have the Gilyon HaShas on the side here, and this is Rabbi Akiva Eger. Very, very complex questions asked on the Gemara and ensuing Mefarshim, and generally very gishmak shir to listen to. There's a generally accepted tradition that it's impossible to answer Rabbi Akiva Eger's questions. That's how good they are, but it's a amazing mental exercise and a tremendous level of learning to be able to enjoy Rabbi Akiva Eger's analysis of the Gemara and how amazing one short question can be that takes everything into account as you try and answer it. So he's a really amazing commentary, very, very difficult level to learn, but so amazing that he is on the page too, and used a lot in yeshivas. So main ones to focus on: Rashi, Tosfos, Torah or Hashalim, the Gemara itself, Masoras Shas, Ayin Mishpat Ner Mitzvah, and then the Bach, Gilyon Shas, and Musaf Rashi are nice additions. There are other commentaries that are sometimes fit when there's extra room on the page, like Rabbeinu Chananel or Rav Hai Gaon, I think, has been printed in some Gemaras and like that. But these are generally the main ones you're going to see coming up all the time. So that's an introduction to the page of the Gemara, just so you know the tools that are at your fingertips when you're coming to the Gemara, and you don't just get, oh, here's the Gemara and everything else is weird, I don't know what's going on around me. Here, now you know exactly where you are, and you're set up with a lot of really good tools and resources here once your reading skills pick up a bit. Okay? So Hatzlacha Rabba, keep steiging, and have a wonderful day.